very sorry, terribly sorry.
No worries.
Insensitive on my part. I'm sorry.
No, it's not. Life happens.
Okay. ועיקר של המחשבות זרות הם על ידי... Wait, Sean, did you look over the video from yesterday? No, so let me recap quickly. We said that mishpat, the aspect of mishpat, the justice, the truth, the aspect of Yaakov is what you need in order to be able to use that weapon of prayer in the right way to hit the target right in the middle, right? To be true to the target. So that's basically we spoke about yesterday, getting the right frequency. When you're turning the knob on the radio to get the exact frequency, you can't have it even a tiny bit to the right or even a tiny bit to the left. It has to be just perfect. In the same way, your prayer has to be right in the middle, means has to be right in the point of truth in order to create that, establish that true, that authentic connection with Hashem. And that's when the prayer is effective, like the pasuk says in Tehillim, Kahov Adonai l'chol kol ra'ah v'chol asher yika'o be'emet. Hashem is close to all that call out to Him, truthfully. So how do you achieve this connection? How do you receive this ability of using the sword appropriately, properly, most effectively? That's through mishpat, and mishpat you receive through tzedakah. When you give tzedakah, you're connecting to this aspect of mishpat, because tzedakah essentially is impoverishing one and enriching the other. So you're creating a sense of equality between the two ends of the spectrum. That's what tzedakah is. It's impoverishing one side and enriching the other side, and that causes that level of equality, which is like the scales of justice. And so that's what Rabbi Nachman was speaking about. That tzedakah is how we merit the mishpat, and that's why before you pray, it's very important to give tzedakah, even 1 coin of tzedakah before you pray, according to the Arizal and the Baal Shem Tov and the Chassidus Chabad are especially careful in fulfilling this. You give tzedakah before you pray, because as we said, in order for your prayer to hit the target and to create that authentic connection, right, to get on the right frequency, you need the aspect of mishpat, and the mishpat you receive through tzedakah, and that's why right before you pray you give tzedakah. Then Rabbi Nachman explained that Yaakov was the one who had to give the firstborn rights to Yosef, because as we said, that in order to receive this weapon of prayer, you have to be perfected in your Yosef, in your aspect of Yosef, which is the Brit. And you receive the ability to use it properly, effectively, from Yaakov, which is the mishpat, the justice. So Yaakov gives the firstborn rights, which is the sword that has the two-sided sword, two-sided sword. Is that what it's called? Double-ended sword?
Double-edged sword.
No, double-edged, not double-ended. Double-edged sword. He receives it from Yaakov. And why? How did Yosef receive it from Yaakov? He received it through the tzedakah that Yosef did for Yaakov when he provided financially for Yaakov and all of his brothers when they came down to Mitzrayim in this week's parsha. Amazing how we're learning Likutei Moharan on the parshiot of the week, on the order of the parshiot. And that's why it had to be Yaakov that gave the firstborn rights to Yosef, as we said, because you receive it from the mishpat, from the justice, from the truth, the aspect of truth being true right in the middle and the right in the innermost, authentic most point. That's Yaakov. Now we're up to Hey. This we didn't do yesterday. The main cause of this chaotic thoughts, the foreign thoughts, right? The constricted consciousness, when a person's mind is not with him. Where does that come from? That comes from kilkul hamishpat. That comes from the corruption of this aspect of mishpat that we just spoke about. Ki mishpatu b'chinat einin, because mishpat is an aspect of eyes, seeing. As it says, they came to Ein Mishpat. Ein Yaakov. What's Ein Mishpat? Ein Mishpat is Ein Yaakov, the eye of Yaakov. So Mishpat is the aspect of eye. And the eye is the aspect of clear thinking. Chokhmah. Eye is Chokhmah. that Rizal teaches us. So therefore, since mishpat is this aspect of ayin, of the eye, and so therefore when there's a corruption in the mishpat, there's a corruption in the eyes. We have a proof from the Torah that when there's a corruption of justice, there's a corruption of the eyes, because we know that when if a judge receives bribery, it brings him to become blind, the Torah says. The Torah says the bribery blinds the eyes of the wise. Okay, so the wisdom is something that's connected to the eyes itself, and when the eyes are blinded, that means that the wisdom is corrupted. So the wisdom of the judges is corrupted and concealed and lost through the bribery. And that bribery is a corruption of the justice. The fact that there's bribery is a corruption of the justice. So that's proof that the injustice, corruption of justice, causes a corruption to the eyes, which is the wisdom, which is the thinking, the consciousness. Okay? This is the aspect, the concept of the foreign thoughts during the prayers. This blinding of the eyes is the concept of the foreign thoughts during the prayers, because it's the thinking, it's the seichel, it's the consciousness of the mind of the person. When it's corrupted, that's the chaotic thoughts, the foreign thoughts during the prayer. These foreign thoughts are called the clouds that cover the eyes. As it says in Eicha, that you have covered yourself with a cloud so that the prayer shall not pass through. So that means when a person has these foreign thoughts in the prayer, that really, essentially, what they are doing is they are breaking up the connection. They are breaking up that proper flow, that frequency of being absolutely connected, being absolutely on target in your connection, where the flow, where the energy, where the influx happens. Okay, when that is corrupted, that's seen in the foreign thoughts that are in this person. The consciousness is lost, is concealed. The coherence of that consciousness is lost. The coherence of the thinking and that connection is lost. And at the same time, so that's called clouds, right? Clouded thinking, so to speak. Clouds that are covering up the eyes. And at the same time, we have a reference in Eicha that says that there's this aspect of a cloud that's withholding, that is blocking the prayer from being accepted, from going to the place it needs to go to be accepted. So Rabbi Nachman is paralleling both of them. He's saying that the clouds covering up the eyes, which is the foreign thoughts, the coherence that's lost from that flow, from that connection, from that clear consciousness and true connection to Hashem in the prayer. When that's lost, that's the clouds that are covering the eyes, and that's also causing, either causing or being,
or is.
It is at the same time the cloud that is that's not allowing the prayer to go through.
I mean, couldn't it just be another way of describing the same phenomenon? It's just the same phenomenon from the opposite perspective.
Exactly.
Right. Okay.
Okay. Says Rabbi Nachman, in the future, in the time of Mashiach, in the time of redemption, when everything is rectified, at that point, the aspect of mishpat will be returned to its original state of perfection. As it says in the pasuk in Yeshaya, Tzion b'mishpat tipadeh, Tzion will be redeemed through this aspect of mishpat. Tzion is the Shechina, and Tzion is also Yerushalayim and Am Yisrael. At the same time, right, as we said, it's just looking at it from another aspect. At the same time, the clouds that are covering the eyes will be removed. Those clouds will be removed. As it says that eye to eye they will see Hashem returning to Tzion. ובשביל זה נקרא יוסף בן פורת העין. And this is the reason why Yosef is called Ben Porat Ale'ayin, as we said, the son that is graceful, the son of the grace, Ale'ayin, that all those that see him see his grace. That's the simple translation. But now Rabbi Nachman is telling us that it's more than that. This reference to the eye is because the eye is the chokhmah, and the eye is the aspect of mishpat. And Yosef HaTzadik had this rectified level of coherent thinking, coherent consciousness, clear connection that comes from tzedakah. We said that tzedakah, and he was providing for his father and his brothers. He had a perfected level of tzedakah. And that tzedakah gave him this mishpat, and the mishpat is the eye, the chokhmah, the wisdom, that coherent, clear consciousness, connection. And that's why he's called Ben Porat Ale'ayin, in connection to the eyes. Every person, before you start praying, you have to attach yourself to the real tzaddikim of the generation. So it's important. By Breslev, they say before every prayer, they say, I'm right now intending to connect myself to all the real tzaddikim in this generation and to all the real tzaddikim in the past generations, and especially to Rabbi Nachman ben Fegemi Breslev. That's what the minhag is by Breslev. But you can say this to all the tzaddikim that you're connected to, and you can say it at the beginning of the day. Rabbi Nachman here says to do it before every prayer, but you can say it before Shachrit, let's say for the whole day. You say, I'm connecting myself for today and every day. It's always good to include that. So you also do it for the future, and that's an accumulative effect. For today and every day, for every tefillah that I daven, for every learning of Torah, for every mitzvah, and for every moment in my life. I'm connecting myself completely to all the real tzaddikim in this generation and all real tzaddikim in the past generations. And especially too, and then you can say who, and then you can visualize each one of these tzaddikim, connecting to them, asking them for a bracha even. It's a beautiful meditation. Very important, very powerful. You have no idea how powerful it is. Sometimes we don't feel it, but on many levels it affects many things. So now Rabbi Nachman is going to explain the importance of this. He says, every tzaddik of the generation is an aspect of Moshe Mashiach. The tzaddikim call each other Moshe. Moshe is a nickname for a tzaddik. The Gemara many times, one of the Amoraim said something, a beautiful answer, a wonderful insight. And then another one of the Amoraim told him, Moshe, you say very nice. What you said was very nice. Moshe, his name is not Moshe. So Moshe is a nickname. It's a name that they would call each other because of the aspect of Moshe within them. Moshe, and so from that, Rabbi Nachman is proving that every tzaddik in the generation has an aspect of Moshe within them. Moshe is bechinat Mashiach. Moshe is an aspect of Mashiach. As it says in the end of Bereshit, it says until Shiloh will come, and Shiloh is a reference to Mashiach. And the Zohar says on that, Ad ki yavo Shiloh, until Shiloh will come. Who is the Shiloh? The Zohar says Shiloh is Moshe Mashiach. They also have the same numerical value. Shiloh, Shin, and Yud and Lamed is Mem. Yud is 10, Lamed is 30, so that's 40, which is Mem. And Hey. Shiloh has a Hey at the end, which is just like Moshe has a Hey in the end. So the same numerical value. V'chol tefillah tefillah. Oh, so wait, so what do we see from here? We see the connection between Moshe and Mashiach, right? So Moshe is Mashiach. Every tzaddik in the generation has an aspect of Moshe. So every aspect in the generation has an aspect of Mashiach within them. What were we saying before? We were saying that the tefillah is the weapon of Mashiach, right? Through which he fights all the wars. So now let's see a parallel explanation to that and the continuation to that in the continuation of the Torah here, as how Rabbi Nachman is going to explain that. He says like this, and every tefillah that everyone prays is a limb or a part of the Shekhinah. Shem Evra Mishkan, which is a limb or a part of the Mishkan itself. She'en shum echad miYisrael yachol la'ala shayfa b'shayfa Because there is no one in Am Yisrael who is able to place all the parts of the Mishkan in the proper position except for Moshe. Moshe was the only one he was the one that could put together the Mishkan. So you need this aspect of Moshe, the power of Moshe's neshama, in order to combine every part of the Mishkan, of the Shechina, in the appropriate way, to build the Shechina, as the Mikubalim call it in the Kavanot. You have to build the Shechina until she's in the right level. Remember, we spoke about this yesterday. The Yaakov and the Rachel, we have to bring them the right level so that there can be a proper unification, right? So in order to build the Shechina, you need this aspect of Moshe Mashiach to build the Mishkan appropriately. So since only the tzaddik is able to do that, and these prayers that we're praying every day are these parts of the Mishkan, these parts of the Shechina, and only the tzaddik is able to put them in the right place. So now before you pray, you have to bring your prayer to the tzaddik so that the tzaddik will take your prayer and use it to build the Mishkan, use it to build the Shechina in the appropriate way. As it says that they brought the Mishkan to Moshe and he was the one who assembled it. He knows, he understands how to connect each part to the other next part, the right part, and to assemble and put the Mishkan, to stand the Mishkan up. And Moshe erected the Mishkan.